Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm your host, CP. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Now, today we're going to be talking about Gotham Season 4, Episode 4, The Demon's Head. Now, this is a review, so I'm letting y'all know now. I don't want to hear no crap saying, oh, CP, I haven't seen this episode. Stop. Go and watch it now. So I don't want to hear it. So, with that being said, let's talk about it.
But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
So the three main topics that they talk about in this episode is Bruce continuing to look into this mysterious Raj Al Gaul's knife, the confrontation between Ed Nigma and Penguin, which is hilarious, but we're going to get into that later, and then Sophie returning back to Gotham. So with Bruce trying to look more into this knife, he takes it to this store that's owned by this curator and is ran by him and his son Alex. And so, with them looking into this knife, they have to end up leaving it there overnight. During this time, Raj Al Gaul comes to the same store, ends up killing the curator, and the son Alex ends up running away, getting away. Because there's a murder, Jim is then brought on the scene to look into the crime. Bruce comes back, and then they begin to work together to find out what's going on. Where is this kid Alex that has this knife? This $2 million knife that Bruce paid for. So Jim and Bruce end up finding Alex in the back of this library and end up finding out that Alex is hiding this knife. During this time, Raj Al Gaul ends up sicking this beast man dog that he names Anubis, obviously, on Alex to find him. During this time, they end up finding out that Alex ends up hiding a knife in a museum. So they're going to this museum to get the knife. There shows Anubis, and this chase begins to take place. During this chase, Alex ends up dropping the knife, in which Bruce Wayne ends up picking it up. Jim Gordon ends up taking this large dinosaur bone and gets Anubis' attention, throws the bone out the window, and there goes Anubis jumping out the window to follow it. During this time, Raj Al Gaul takes Alex as a hostage, has a knife to his throat, and is telling Bruce, give him the knife. And so Bruce is like, no, I can't give it to you. I know what this can cause, so I'm just not going to do it. Raj Al Gaul slits Alex's throat. He's died on the floor. And Bruce is all upset because he feels like it's all his fault. Which it is. So I think the storyline between Bruce and Raj Al Gaul, it's okay. It's coming along. I wasn't quite sure about this whole thing with Raj Al Gaul summoning Anubis, which is actually Kemetan mythology, and Mesopotamia is, last time I checked, not even on the same continent. But, whatever. Anyway. So I'm definitely interested to see how Bruce Wayne's going to take this. He's definitely getting to the point where he's realizing his actions have consequences. And sometimes those consequences are death. So, in this case, he's definitely feeling like it was his fault for the reason why Alex died. And so, we'll see how it's going to continue to develop down the line and how it's going to make him a more dynamic character. So with this whole conversation between Ed and Penguin, that background kind of starts off with Ed is plotting on how to kill Penguin. And so he's doing these different things. He's sending out these people to tell these riddles to Penguin to try to meet him at these certain places. Telling these riddles that nobody, not even the viewers, are able to understand. So the first riddle that Ed had hinted made it seem like Penguin needed to meet up at a pier. Penguin shows up, nobody was there. And so Ed then sends another hint for another location, which in that point, I guess that it would have been a cemetery, which it ended up turning out to be. Of course, Penguin didn't figure that out. And so Ed actually comes to Penguin's club to actually confront him head on. So during this confrontation, Penguin's like, look, your jokes suck. Like, you're not even smart. You're not even a shadow of what you used to be. You're not even worth it. If you even would have had a half a brain to even figure out that this was a trap, I got my man Victor number 2, Dr. Freeze over here, and you didn't even figure that out to put you back on ice. And Ed was like, you know what? I'm not the Riddler. I'm not who I was. And Penguin was like, you know what? I'm not even going to freeze you anymore. I think it's a better punishment for you to just live knowing that you're not the person who you used to be. You're just plain old Ed Nigma. And you know what? You're not even him. Turns around and walks off. When I heard that, I was like, oh, what? Told that guy, you ain't even worth the gas money to get here. I was like, wow. I was dying laughing. That was hilarious. He just told him about himself. You're not even worth it. You're a shadow of what you used to be. It's just, man, hilarious. But honestly, I really like this whole debate that they have going on between Ed and Penguin. I really am looking forward to seeing how that's going to continue throughout the series. It seems like right at the end of that, it looked like Ed maybe had a trick up his sleeve and was like, oh, I kind of just played that card so you wouldn't freeze me. It looks like he still has some plans up his sleeve. So we're going to see how that's going to turn out. So the final topic that they talk about is really around this whole thing with Sophie coming back to Gotham. Now, Penguin ends up hearing about this, goes to see Sophie and was like, you know what? You better not be starting no trouble. This is my town. And Sophie's like, oh, no, I'm just here because, this is my home. My dad used to live here, this, that, and the third. And Penguin was like, look, when I took over, there were people that was under your dad that just went back into hiding. And so, it's a good chance that they'll probably try to come in, see you once word gets around that it's a Falcone back in town. Lo and behold, that's exactly what happens. There are these three guys that end up coming to Sofia like, you know what, we served your dad. Now we heard that you're back in town. We're trying to get this, Penguin's taking over. Let's take this city over. Penguin ends up eavesdropping about this, comes out around the corner with my man Victor, and of course takes him out back, puts a cold one in their heads, and that was kind of like the end of it. But it looks to see that Sofia is still, she's still plotting on taking over, probably taking the approach of getting close to Penguin, seeing the things that he's up to, and is probably looking to plot to take him down from the inside. So it looks like right now it's really just like a reconnaissance kind of thing. But I don't know, we'll see. I think that it's really cool to see how, she's back in the city. I'm really interested to see what kind of role she's going to play, with her being the daughter of Falcone. She definitely has that name that pulls weight. And so, I don't know, we'll see. I think that, I think overall in this episode, I give it a 6 out of 10. It is definitely still coming up, especially with episode 1. To be honest, season 4 really hasn't been all that good to me. It is my least favorite of all the seasons so far. I really hope they're going to get back to the former glory that was Gotham, especially from seasons 1, 2, and 3, but we'll see. I definitely did leave a review about episode 1. I'll link that to the description below, but I'm interested to know, how do you all feel about this episode? Or how do y'all feel about this season so far? Is it on the up and up, or do you all feel it's kind of tapering off? Definitely comment down below and let's talk about it. If y'all like this video and this new format that I'm trying out, comment down below. Tell me about it. I want to hear from you guys, see how you think. Definitely like and subscribe to help me navigate the direction of this channel. I definitely appreciate y'all for watching. This is Commentary with CP, and I'll check you all in the next one. Peace.